Hello students, today we are starting our exercise 5.1 question number 2. Yesterday I told that try yourself, you might have tried it. Let us begin that. Give a definition for each of the following terms. Parallel lines, perpendicular lines, line segments, radius of a circle and square. Now children, here it is in, are there other terms that need to be defined first? What are they and how might you define them? Now children, these all details are a little bit difficult, and we will discuss these points only because these are very important. Because for this, suppose we take parallel lines, so it needs line, point, all these, and all these terms are undefined term. So we will not discuss all these undefined terms because already discussed in textbook, and I also explained that why they are undefined terms. Now we will discuss these definitions only. Parallel lines. If given two lines in a plane do not have any common point, then they are called parallel lines, children. Let us see the figure. Now children, you can see that this is line L, this is line M. We have drawn two lines. Definition says that both the lines do not have any common point. So we can say that these two lines are parallel. Symbol is this, children. L parallel M. Okay, let us proceed. Next definition. Perpendicular lines. If given two lines in plane intersect each other at right angles, then they are called perpendicular lines, children. Okay, this is very easy to understand. See the diagram. Now children, here you can see that one line L is given, another line M is given. They both intersect each other at right angle. This symbol is for right angle, 90 degree, children. Right angle means what? 90 degree. So here this situation tells us that given two lines are known as perpendicular line, and symbol is this, children. L perpendicular to M. This symbol is for perpendicular, and parallel line symbol is what? L parallel M. Remember these two symbols, children. Okay. Now third definition is a line segment is a part of line having a definite length. It has two endpoints. So children, what is line segment? It is a part of the line having a definite length. Children, length is must be given. It may be 5 centimeter, 5 kilometer or 5000 kilometer. But we can say that it has definite length. Also, it has two endpoints. Okay, children. Radius of a circle. A line segment whose one endpoint is a center of the circle and other endpoint is a point of the circle is called a radius of the circle. Now children, let us understand. This is a circle that you know. This is center O. Let us take point P on it. Now here a line segment OP whose one endpoint is the center of the circle and other endpoint P which is on the circle, then we can say that this line segment is a radius of the circle. Now last definition, children. Square. A quadrilateral in which all the four sides are equal and all the four angles are right angles is called a square. See the diagram, children. This is a square ABCD. All four angles. This is right angle, this is right angle, this is right angle, and this is right angle. Means all four angles are right angles and all four sides are equal. Means AB length, BC length, CD length and DA length are equal. Children, this figure is known as square, children. Now from this, children, you can find definition of rectangle also, children. Try yourself. Question 3. Consider two postulates given below. First one. Given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B. Second, there exist at least 3 points that are not on the same line. Now we have 3 questions, children, based on these two postulates. First question, do these postulates contain any undefined terms? Second, are these postulates consistent? Third question, do they follow from Euclid's postulates? Explain your answer, children. Okay, means explain this one. Let us take first one. Now children, first question, do these postulates contain any undefined terms? Answer is yes. Let us see, there are two undefined terms, point and line. Second question, children, are these postulates consistent? Yes, children, they are consistent, children, because when we consider this, given any two distinct points A and B, there exists a third point C which is in between A and B, children. That can be done. So children, this first condition says that given 2 points A and B, okay, that is first one, and second, there is a point C lying on the line in between them. Okay, similarly, second postulate, this postulate, it suggests that suppose we take 2 points, given 2 points A and B, we can take point C that is not lying on the line through A and B. So both the situations both the postulates are consistent. And third one, children, do they follow from Euclid's postulates? For that, answer is no. Children, because these postulates do not follow from Euclid's postulates, but they follow from axiom, given two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. Okay, children. Question 4. If a point C lies between 2 points A and B such that AC equal to BC, then prove that AC equal to half AB. Explain by drawing the figure. Children, you try yourself. It is very easy to prove it. First of all, children, draw the diagram. Line segment AC. C is here. Next step, children. AC equal to BC given. Third step, children. AC, we add both these sides, children. Add this side AC, add this side AC. We are making some change, so we have to follow some rules and regulations, and that is equal added to equal. This is our rule. So that we have done here, children. Children, this is what axiom number 2. Okay. Now children, AC plus AC means what? It is twice AC. Okay. Is equal to BC plus AC equal to AB we have written. Meaning is what? Children, this is coincide rule, children. AC plus BC coincide with AB. So BC plus AC equal to AB we can write. This we have proved also, children. Can you recollect where we proved? This is nothing but example number 1, children. Example 1. Now children, bring this 2 here. Children, bring this 2 here. That is our usual one. But which axiom? Try yourself, children. Find out this. Here also one axiom is there. I just suggested example 1. But here axiom is also there. That also you find out, children. So this 2 for you. Open textbook and find out which axiom we are following. Question number 5. In question 4, point C is called a midpoint of line segment AB. Prove that every line segment has one and only one midpoint. That we want to prove. Let AB has two midpoints, P and Q, children. So figure will be like this. A and B, AB is a line segment which has two midpoints, P and Q, children. That we are supposing. Okay. Now children, can you try yourself? So here, before I remove this paper, you try yourself that what we have to prove? P equal to Q, you have to prove it, because we know that a line segment has only one midpoint. That we want to prove actually. So okay, let us try. Now second step I am writing. Now children, AP is equal to half AB. Reason is above question number 4. If P is a midpoint of AB, then AP equal to half AB. Q is also a midpoint of AB. Just now we have taken. So AQ equal to half AB from 1 and 2. Now children, can you guess it? What should be the next step? Now children, now from 1 and 2 we are subtracting AQ minus AP. So we are getting half AB minus half. Therefore AQ minus AP equal to 0. AQ minus AP equal to 0 means what? PQ equal to 0. AQ minus AP, you can see that in diagram. It is PQ. See, AQ minus AP, that is PQ. So here it is PQ equal to 0. PQ equal to 0. Therefore P and Q coincide. Okay. Therefore every line segment has one and only one midpoint, children. Understood? Question number 6. In the figure 5.10, if AC equal to BD, AC equal to BD. Prove that AB equal to CD. This AB and this CD are equal, children. Very easy and interesting. Children, first you try, then you see our answer. This is the figure, children. Now, since AC equal to BD. Children, when we start with since, meaning is what? It is given. So, AC equal to BD is given. Now, children, first we will pick up AC. AC equal to what? AB plus BC. Then we will take BD. BD equal to what? BC plus CD. Let us see the next step. So, AC equal to AB plus BC. Now, BD equal to what? BC plus CD. We have first result, second result, third result. Now children, this AC we replace by AB plus BC here, and this BD we will replace by BC plus CD here. Now see the next step. Okay, AB plus BC equal to BC plus CD. Now children, finally we got AB equal to CD. What is the reason? Now this BC and this BC we subtract from both the sides. From here we subtract BC, from here we subtract BC. So we write that equals are subtracted from equal. So we get AB equal to CD. Children, our old tradition is cancel BC BC. Not like that. Okay, we are doing that only. But this is the reason. Children, this is which axiom that you verify. Question number 7. Why is axiom 5 in the list of Euclid's axioms considered a universal truth? Note that the question is not about the fifth postulate. Okay, first of all, let us see the axiom number 5. Axiom number 5 is this: the whole is greater than the part. Now children, answer is simple. Now children, the whole is greater than the part. So it is true for anything in any part of the world. Therefore, it is a universal truth. Okay children, it is very easy to understand. Now children, equivalent version of Euclid's fifth postulate. Children, fifth postulate we discussed that Euclid fifth postulate is very significant in the history of mathematics. Let us recall it. No intersection of lines will take place when the sum of the measures of the interior angles on the same side of the falling line is exactly 180. Okay. So here one Playfair axioms is given. So it can be asked in exam for just you have to remember it. Who has given name of these mathematicians you remember and this statement. For every line L and for every point P not lying on L, there exists a unique line M passing through P and parallel to L. Now see the diagram children here. Here one line L is given and point P is outside it. There are infinite lines, this line, other also many lines you can draw, but only this line M which is parallel to L. So for every line L means this all every lines and for every point P not lying on L, કોઈ પણ point માંથી એક point P આપણે લઈએ છીએ not lying on L, there exists a unique line children. This is very important. There must be a unique line. Or children, another way it can be written this way. Two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the same line children. Two lines we take intersecting lines. Suppose this line and this line we take. So two intersecting lines, they are two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the same line. These two lines cannot be parallel to this line L. Okay. Simultaneously children, both the intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the one line children. That is the meaning. Now children, here some very interesting explanation is given, that is non-Euclidean geometry. Okay. So read this non-Euclidean geometry for your general knowledge. Very interesting it is. Refer it children. Now children, example 3. Prepare yourself. Here explanation is given. Very easy and interesting children. Exercise 5.2, question number 5. How would you rewrite Euclid's fifth postulate so that it would be easier to understand? Children, answer is very simple, already discussed, but just I am showing you that answer. Children, you can write this way also. Two distinct intersecting lines cannot be parallel to the same line children. Okay, now let us discuss last question. Does Euclid's fifth postulate imply the existence of parallel lines? Explain. Answer is yes. Let us understand children. Now children, answer is yes. If a straight line L falls on two straight lines M and N such that, now children see this way, meaning is, let us draw one line M, another line N. Now children, here it is given that one line M, one line N. Line L falls on two straight lines. So children, here we have line M. Okay. Now children, this is L children. Okay. Here interior angles on one side of L, suppose we take this side, then you can see that sum of this side A and B, it is what we know that it is two right angles. Two right angle means 180. Then this side of the L, these two lines will not intersect. Similarly, other side it is written that next you know that the sum of the interior angles on the other side of line L will also be two right angles. This side also, suppose C and D. So C plus D is also two right angles. Therefore, they will not meet on this side also children. So we can say that M and N never meet and therefore they are parallel children. Okay. Now children, end of this chapter, prepare this summary portion also children. It is very interesting. Here in textbook it is given. Here also you can read it. So children, I suggest that in every chapter, end of this chapter, summary portion is given. You always prepare it, write down also children. Okay children, so here we finish chapter number 5. And children, you know that your maths unit test, in that you have to prepare 4 chapters, chapter 1, 2, 5 and 15. So now last chapter 15 is left, that will be taken in next video session. Okay.